Happy Thursday, Stampers and Paper Crafters. This is Facebook Live number 358. Wow, I have done 357 Facebook Lives. That's amazing. I never ever thought that I would be in front of a camera, ever. I never thought I'd be a demonstrator for 25 years either. It's so cool. My name is Joy Borwedge, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I live in Burnsville, Minnesota, and again, I've been a demonstrator since August of 1999. I have two beautiful cards for you tonight, and one card, both cards are from the Stamp Camp that I just did this past weekend, and one of them we're going to add a new technique. And I should say the technique is new to me and never, ever, ever thought that you could do this. So I'm going to show it, and I have not tried it out myself. So hopefully it will turn out okay. All right, so I'm going to put you down at the table in just a second. If you get motion sickness or anything like that, just look away, and I will let you know when it's safe to tune back in. All right, so hold on. So today is Thursday, as I said, and I'm hoping that you have had a great week so far. All right, so I'm going to untighten. And let's see if we could do the swing. Yay, and we did not get caught up in anything. All right, so I'm going to tighten it. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we're a little crooked. Squish in a little bit. There. There we go. I think that looks good, right? All right, so I'm going to turn that towards me, and we'll have a little bit more light on the subject. Let's move that over. I think that's good. All right, not as crooked. There we go. I think that looks good. All right. So again, my name is Joy Borwedge, and I have an Instagram page at Stampin' for Joy. And then stampinforjoy.stampinup.net is my online store. You can use the host code RAUJD4EY on that host in the online store. When your order is over $150, do not use that host code, because I want you to receive this free product that you earn. PenguinZ33@outlook.com is my email address. So if you are not working with a demonstrator, I would love to help you out. And if you do not have the annual catalog, which is that one, or the holiday mini catalog. This is the September through December mini catalog. And so Stampin' Up! Uses these publications as a way to keep the annual catalog a little bit lighter, so that when, so not everything is in there. And then we can introduce new product. And then also, speaking of introducing new product, Stampin' Up! Has online exclusives, and online exclusives mean just that you can only view these items online. Now, this is not a publication. A demonstrator happened to make this, and I printed it out, and it's quite a few pages of the online product that is available right now. And so Stampin' Up! Is also introducing new product coming out to customers in November 5th. Now, if you wish to get a chance to get these new online exclusives, you can get in on the pre-order. Now, the pre-order, if you're a demonstrator, you can order it a month ahead. So that's one of the best things about being a demonstrator, is that, number one, you get to pre-order product before the public gets to, so that you will probably not get a chance to run out of product. Because if things are just so cute, they might actually run out before they even, because the demonstrators buy them. So then you can get your product pre-ordered. another reason why Stampin' Up! Is a great choice is I get a 25% discount on all my purchases. Now, you start out initially with a 20% discount, and you can earn additional discounts, increases. So, with speaking about that, Stampin' Up! Has given us a way for you to sign up. Stampin' Up! Has a starter kit special, and you get to pick out $155 worth of product. Okay, so if your shopping list, your wish list is huge, say it's about $125, $130, you get to pick out $155, okay, and you only pay $99 for it. And then you don't pay shipping. Like, that's pretty cool. Plus, then you earn 20% off on your next orders until you decide to stop being a demonstrator. This kit special runs through the end of October, so you only have a few weeks left. But anyways, one of the promotions that we got to pre-order was something that is called that gold twisted thread is really cool. Is the Utterly Adorable Sweet Collection. Now, I made a card featuring this. I haven't put it on my Instagram page yet just because I've been a little busy. But here is the card that I made. And, isn't that utterly cute? Okay, and here is the inside of the card. Now, when you watch my Facebook Lives, you get a chance to get entered to win the drawing. Now, that was Facebook Live number 357. And then Facebook Live number 356, I have not yet put that on either. So if you want to, you could go back. Now, this is available in the annual catalog. And these are featuring the Petunia Pop color. This is called a monochromatic, and I was kind of showing off the new pre-order item, which was the color coach. And this color coach was given to demonstrators that attended a certain event, and people were clamoring for it. So demonstrators now got a chance to pre-order this color coach. Now, I don't know how many's made, so they could run out. So if you wanted to, you could put that in your starter kit. Now, like I said, you can enter the starter kit and pick out anything you want from the pre-order for the online exclusives, anything that's currently available, anything in the scrapbooking brochure. Now, that's only virtual. I printed it out again just so that I could have a reference to show my customers and my viewers where I got the product from. And so don't forget to check that out. And then also you can order to put in your kit the mini catalog product and the annual catalog product. So choosing $155 and only paying $99 for it, that's like the cheapest and best way to get a discount on your future orders. All right. And another thing that Stampin' Up! Is doing right now is all their current kits that are available are up to 30% off in the kits collection. Now, one thing different about a paper pumpkin is that this here is something that you go online and you get to see what the product makes. And then you get to choose it. You could buy how many you want, and you can also give it to somebody as a gift. And they are what is available. If they run out, then they run out, okay? So it's while supplies last, and it is through, again, the end of the month. All right. So then now let me show you the card that we're going to be making tonight. And this is from the, let me show you, it's from the Holiday Mini Catalog. And the two cards that I'm demonstrating tonight are, I'm going to squish in just a tad bit, are from this past weekend's stamp camp. So everybody got a chance to, they got their packet, and I had everything cut up for them. All they had to do was stamp the bird and die cut it, and then they had this piece of paper, the basic white, and so then they took the rectangles and they die cut that. So they stamped everything. I had the cardstock already. Titmouse. Yep. So, I mean, isn't that cute? And then there's Winkastella. Hopefully you could see that. Oh, there it is, the little shininess off the berries. Now, this little guy is from a suite that's called Nests of Winter. And so let me just kind of show you some things that you can actually make with this bundle. And actually, it's a suite collection called Nests of Winter. And what that means is the easy button. It's a tough titmouse, yep. And this is the easy button. So you punch in 164072 and you get one of everything here. So you also save the 10% when you purchase the stamp set and the dies, you save 10%. But you also save the 10% when you order the suite collection. Okay, so let me show you a little bit closer what we have in the Designer Series paper. Now, this is just a 2-inch square snippet of what the Designer Series paper offers. Now, there's little birds all over this one. There are birds that you can cut out. Same thing with this one, and same thing with this one. So it is a gorgeous stamp set. Now, nothing here says Christmas or winter, and these are little bird tracks. I think that was just adorable. And these remind me of Pussy Willows, but I'm actually not sure if that's really what it is. And we're going to be using this piece right here. And look at all that coordinating cardstock that goes with this. So if you purchase this Nests of Winter, you will certainly be able to have, unless you are just starting out, you will be able to have at least one of these colors, hopefully, in your collection that you will be able to coordinate with. Okay, now the bird that I colored, I took off of this bird right here. And so it's not too bad. I think I did pretty good with the coloring. I'm not an artist, but Stampin' Up! Makes me look that way. Now let me see if I have the other one that I recently did. This is card number 1. Using the birch embossing folder. And so this is actually made out of the Designer Series paper. So once you run out of the Designer Series paper, you could certainly use your blends and color in the little birdie. Now here is card number 2 using a vertical view of the Designer Series paper. And I was just showing how to use this. And let's see. That was, let's see, Facebook Live. Facebook Live number 351, if you wish to go back and see that put together. Okay, so now one of the things that I do when I do my stamp camps and Stampin' events is I don't give out the dimensions just because you need to come to my stamp camp in order to make this. So we will actually have one winner tonight that will win this card, and then you will get your name taken out and of the drawing, because there's going to be a card number 2. So I'm going to actually have 2 winners tonight. All right, so let's get going. So I actually hang out with everybody, so then that way we don't, if anybody has any questions on anything, they can ask me. So I am going to grab my silicone mat for just a little bit. Ah, there's Winkastella on there. I forgot to wash that all off. right, so I'm going to add this to the front of the card. And we're going to cover up the little birdies. Okay, so I want to thank you, Terry, for coming to my stamp camp. And the second card, I am going to try a new technique that I just saw. And I haven't tried it yet. So you guys are going to see the real outcome and how it goes. All right, so we're just going to take this, and we're going to butt this up all the way. Thank you so much. I'm glad you got to come. All right, I'm going to butt this up all the way to the edge here. And press that down. Okay, so then now, and I try to make it so that my stamp camps are something that you learn, something that you try a new technique, get your hand. I'm actually going to clean my stamps off just because they've been sitting around since last weekend. So I just want to make sure that there's no fuzzies on them. Because, you know, cats. That's all I have to say. And, you know, I try to keep my house, or I should say apartment, pretty clean. And there we go. Okay, so they're cleaned off now. And so I am going to take the gray granite, and we are going to ink up the birdies also in black memento, but we're going to do the gray granite first, and then we're going to clean it off. Okay, so this is going to go on the inside of the card, and this is going to over stamp. So it's going to, I'm not going to do the full full stamp. We're just going to do about that much of the birds. Okay, so we're not going to really do anything. Yes, cat hair. That's what it is, cat hair. Okay, so we're going to clean that off, and we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to stamp the whole image in black. And so this is my chamois. Now, my chamois is in quarters. I generally have different sections for my stamp camps. However, in an apartment, you are limited on space compared to a basement. So I had two different stations this past weekend. And then, so we're going to move that over to the section, and we're going to get the bird on this one. Yep. And so that worked out really well. And I forgot my tangent, so that's okay. Squirrel. Bird. Now this is a larger stamp, so I tend to lay my stamp down and then ink it up from above. And then we're going to put the birdies down. Okay. So we're going to color that in with blends, and then I'm going to come back in and clean this up. Oh yeah, but at my Stampin' event that I forgot to talk about that. I have an event at the end of October. You could still register for if you are not on it. Yeah, and then also if your cat likes foam, like Lewis used to, you wouldn't lose the whole thing. You would only lose 1/4 of it. But then also that helps me at the events. But the event is going on Saturday, October 26th at the church in Highland Park. So if you've come before and you're not registered yet, I wish you would do that quickly, just to make sure that we have everything prepped for you. My friends and I are excited to have people coming out, and we're going to stamp this in black, the greeting. It's going to say, thinking of you always. And if you know a stamper, there are also retired product that, and I want to stamp this straight. Ah, man, that's why there's 2 sets of paper. Okay. Now that's crooked. Gosh darn it. All right. I'm just going to go to my scrap bin and get a new one. And this is real life stamping. No editing. No editing allowed. All right. Anything. Ooh, look at that. I have a perfect scrap piece. And then we could chop it down. Anything that is less than 1/4 of a sheet of cardstock goes in here. And that way, I will always have the perfect... Let's try one more time. We're going to hang that down. There we go. Which one do I like the best? That one. Okay. Now we're going to fix that. Okay, so we're going to close that up. But anyways, check that out. There's information on that website. You go home with 16 different cards. Now you can keep those cards and use them as ideas. You can send them out to people, or you can use them as a gift for somebody. And if you know somebody loves handing out cards, okay, so I am going to take the Thinking of You, and I'm going to try to give that a nice straight chop. That's okay. All right, so then we'll get rid of that. Put that in the trash. And then stamp that. Back it off pretty close. And I think I did this okay. Not too crooked. All right. All right. I think that'll work. I think so. I think so. Yay. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take that off. And then we're going to use our paper trimmers and our stamping. I'm flustered. Okay, so I'm going to move this so that this is equal. I don't always do this very well, and so I like to make a little dot where my center is with my people poker, and I am going to cut up to that little dot, and then we are going to make a banner. How do you like that? It turned out okay, I think. I could always do better. Let's see. That wasn't exactly center very well. Edit. There. Much better. There. Okay. This was supposed to be an easy card. So there we go. Then, now we got that ready to go. And then now, let's see. So that is the greeting. Got that. And now let's do the greeting on the inside. And that is going to say, a friend like you brings me happiness. So one of the reasons why we haven't attach this to the inside of the card is if you make a boo-boo now, you can flip it over and attach it to the inside, and nobody will be the wiser. So I'm just gonna, and the greetings that we are using from this are from this stamp set. So let's just do that and see how, oh, that's pretty straight. So I have it on well. And so we're going to place that on the inside of the card. There we go. A friend like you brings me happiness, and that happens to be a little tiny crooked. So I guess we're going to go... No, we're just going to leave it. It's tiny, tiny, tiny crooked. It's not bad. Okay. Get off the excess, and then we're going to clean that with the Simply Chamois. And then all I do when I get done stamping is rinse it off, and then that way it's clean for the next time. And I just squeeze it, and the warmer the water that you use, the actual better it cleans out. And so it gets kind of rid of some old dirt on the ink. Yeah, so the warmer it is, that's what it does. Okay, so now we're going to attach this to the inside of the card. And I kind of liked the tufted titmouse. Kind of just light. Oh, that's going to bug the crap out of me. I might fix that later. I mean, it's not too bad. Okay, it's still cute. All right. So then now we're going to tie. This is from, again, that suite that I showed you that this stamp set's from. And I like to use a friend. And what that friend is a mini glue dot. Because then you don't have to have that someone there to hold it down for you while you tie a tighter bow. Also, another tip is I like to have my ribbon, and I put like maybe something skinny in there so I could tie a knot so that it slides. But what this does is it helps me pull back and then pick off the next one that's in line. Now this one does not need to be a complete straight piece. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that as my spot to push down where my bow is going to be. And then we are going to make a nice bow. It's nice and tight. And make this as long as you need. And then what I do is I go back in and I squish that mini glue dot so it doesn't hang out. And then we'll just take the ribbon scissors and trim that up a little bit. So that way this is nice and tight and it stays put. All right, so then now, I mean, also as you go, you can rip this off. And then we are going to, I'm going to grab the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And we're going to die cut this out. And then we're going to actually use the, so I forgot to show the Winterly Treetops. Now this is the bundle so you can actually see it closer. And then this is the deckled rectangles. Now this is available in the online store. So if you have a hard time navigating the online the online process, when you're placing your order, there's that search bar and type in deckled. Anything with the word deckle in it shows up, and then you can just choose. So if you want, say, Blackberry Bliss refill, all you have to do is type in Blackberry Bliss and hit search, and everything comes up for it. And if it has Blackberry, say like in the ribbon, there will be ribbon that shows up. And it might be from a totally and completely different set. But you would say, you could think, it's like, oh wow, that would go really well with the card that I'm making. So then you can just click on that, hit to the cart. So that's actually how I shop, by using that search bar at the top. So I'm just going to put that there. And then I'm going to grab my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I mean, you could color first and then cut it out, but I'm actually going to just get this over with for now. And so we're going to cut that. And now when you have a straight edge, you want to put it in at an angle when it goes through the rollers. And I'm just going to put, I'm going to put this one right there. And then the bird die. Now, like I said, this bird die cuts out the designer series paper, and it also cuts out the stamped up image. So once your designer series paper is all gone and you use it from your stash, you can color all your birds with the Stampin' Blends. All right, and then also this tiny hole right here at the end of that twig, you want to make sure that you see the twig through it, and then that way you know for sure that you are in there and you're going to get it done correctly. Cut it. See, and I did that, and gosh darn it, that still moved on me. Because, you know, sometimes things have a little, they bow. So I also flip my, plates over so that they stay straight. And I also have one that is my top plate and then one that is my cutting plate. So then that way I can constantly see through the top piece so that I have a better image rather than trying to see through something that looks like that. Also, when you order a new plate, then the one that is your top plate, that will be your bottom plate. And then that way you're basically cutting one up and then keeping one nice and neat so you could see through. I just love the deckled areas that this shows up. Okay, so then I'm going to put that on my magnetic sheet so that it holds it in spot until I'm ready to put this back and cut out my little birdies. Now, if you wanted to, you could just leave that and not even color it, but we're going to do some coloring because we can. All right, so I'm going to put this away for now. And I am going to grab the Stampin' Pearson mat, and I'm going to color. Now, one of the things that I do when I color is I'm going to sit. I normally look at your comments, but I find it better that I color better when I'm closer to the image rather than I stand doing my videos. And so I want to be able to see the comments as people, you know, say them. I try to answer them because it's not like I have 350 people looking at my video. It'd be nice if I had 10, but 350 is a lot. But anyways, I'm going to take a drink. All right. Okay, I'm going to sit down. Okay. So let me get my birdie. This is my inspiration. And so the first thing I did was I did my, you can color swatch. And I like to do this generally when I'm starting out. And because I already know what I'm doing and what colors I try to do, I'll take strips like this and I'll color swatch something. And I'm just going to do it with this one just to show you why I do it. So I always start with the light, and I always start with the nib tip. And what I'll do is I'll go like that, and then I'll do the brush tip. And then I'll do the nib tip of the dark, and then I'll do the nib tip or sorry, the brush tip. So this is the nib tip, this is the brush. Now, generally, when you have the blends, you probably can't see this as well as I could, but this doesn't happen very often. Generally, when you do the blends and you do this, one color is always darker. Now, these two almost look exactly the same. And the same thing with that. Let's see if maybe the cherry cobbler might be a little bit more different. So let me grab, this is the light, I think. Yep, light. And the reason why I do this is because sometimes you might want a lighter part to show up. That really looks a lot alike too. This is not showing what I'm trying to say, is that a lot of the times you actually get 4 different colors when you do this. Maybe with the pumpkin pie. Because you want to see which color will look better in what part you need to color. Sometimes the nib tip is darker than the brush, and sometimes the brush, okay, this one actually worked out where I was trying to show you, is that this one, this is the pumpkin pie, where this one's lighter, and sometimes the brush is lighter than the nib tip. So that's why I always swatch. So I am going to start with my tree. And so I'm going to use the nib tip of my dark. Actually, I'm going to use the nib tip of my, I'm going to use the nib tip of my dark. And where the artist kind of put there's not going to be a lot of shading in here, but there's still a little parts of the tree where there's little notches that the Stampin' Up! Artist put in there. So that's dark. And then I'm going to go in with my nib light, and I'm going to just color that. So there's not necessarily a lot of shading on the tree branch, I should say. But because this is such a smaller area, and I also have the, what do you call it? This piece, which is the color lifter, just in case I go out of the lines really bad. Sometimes if it's just very simple, I'll take care of it and just let it go. And when it's so skinny, I just kind of hover. So it's just like the tiniest, and now I'm shaking because I'm doing this live. But I really, really love the Stampin' Blends. Okay, that is pretty good. And you always want to make sure there's that snap. All right, so we're going to use the nib tip of the berry. All right, we had that happen at the stamp camp. And, okay, so I'm going to grab my needle nose pliers. This is what happens when things get loved. And I'm just going to pull that out and put that back in. There. And I'm just going to take that and push down. Hopefully that'll help it stay. Okay, so I'm going to color the part of the berry that's at the top of this. And if it doesn't have one, then I'm just going to make one. And again, it's not going to be too much shading, but this is the dark. When I saw this stamp set for Creativity Now that the demonstrators got to sign up for, they demoed this, and I had to get this. Okay, so this is the dark nib tip, and I'm going to go in with the lighter nib tip and color that in. I find that I can color better with the nib tip just because it's more controlled for me. And just make little circles. And then we're going to add Wink of Stella to this. But you want to make sure that when you're using the Stampin' Blends that you use some type of protectant on your table. I love the glass mat because then my table is protected and you can clean it off. And the glass mat is available in the online store now. Okay, so far that's where we're at. And so now we're going to go color the birds. There's really not a lot of color difference in there. Okay, so I'm going to do one part at a time. So I'm going to take, this is Blueberry Bushel, and I'm going to take the nib tip, and I'm just going to make streaks in the birdie's wings, okay? And then I am going to take the dark pool party, and I am going to do the same thing. Okay, so we're going to put this back in. Glad I didn't put this away. And then we're going to pull that off. Put that back in. I don't know why it does this, but, you know. Oh, well. Right? And push that back in. And then we're going to do kind of like, again, where the artist put some, oops, I didn't want to go there. That's okay. And then down in there, and then we're going to go where the little lines are. I don't want to go there either. Oh, well, we'll just make it down here, right here, and at the tuft. Okay, so then now, do you see what I did there? I took off the top of that one, and I put it on this one. All right, so then now we're going to take the pool party, the lightest one, and then we're just going to blend that all together. Squeak, squeak, squeak. All right. And then get the tail feathers. And then blend that all in. And the noise you get to make. You know, my cats will probably think I'm playing with the mouse. Okay, so what I really wanted to do was take the daffodil, okay, and we're going to go underneath the feathers. We're going to just color that really nice where that is. Okay, and then we're going to take the dark nib tip of the pumpkin pie, and we're going to do the striations just like the artist said, hey, this is where you need to put the color. And close that up, and then now we're going to do the brush part of the birdie. Okay, and then if you want to go back in for a little bit more yellow, go ahead. And then change that up a little bit to make it. Okay, so this is the reason why you want to have your area protected. See how some of that yellow kind of came through? That's actually what happens. All right, so then now we're going to take the gray granite, and this one's the dark smoky slate, sorry. And we're going to go for the beak. and the eyeball. One's just so happy. And I want to use the brush a little bit more over here. Just blend that in. Okay. And you can kind of see how that looks. All right, so then now we're going to put that back, and we will put our card together. Okay, so what I did is I put the bird on here, just directly on. So I'm going to take adhesive and just put that on. And that is going to go on our square. Now, you know what I did is I wanted to make the square a little bit shorter, but I didn't do that with this one. So that's, yeah, you know, we're going to do that. I'm going to show you. I was going to make this a little shorter, and I forgot to do that. And I forgot to tell my people at the stamp camp. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're just going to move this over just a tad bit, probably about 1/4 of an inch. And rather than doing that, bringing that over here, clearing everything out. So it's just a little bit smaller. So see how I just put it. You can make this you can even make this a square if you wanted to. So anytime you have a rectangle, you can make it a square, as long as you can kind of fit that in right. Okay, so that's what I did. Now we're going to attach the bird to that, and it's going to hang over the top a little bit, and that's okay. And then now we're going to put dimensionals on that, and I'm going to grab my people poker and put that on here. And this is actually without the coloring. It's really a pretty easy card that you can duplicate, so you can just mass produce a whole bunch of cards all at the same time. Okay, so then, oh, and we're going to put this on our greeting on dimensionals as well. So we're going to do 1 and 2. Stab and grab those backings at a slight angle, put that in the trash. That way they're not hanging around. And so now we're going to move that off to the side, and we're going to put this kind of down here, not directly, but we're going to leave this much space and this much space so that it's equal. And then thinking of you always, you know what, I want a little bit more dark in here to show up, and maybe that will now blend in a little bit. There we go. So hopefully that'll do what I want it to do. Okay, so then now we're going to take these earth tone shimmer gems, and this is also in that suite, and we are going to use, I can't open it up. I always tend to open mine up through the side and just clip this off so it comes out, so I'm not constantly dealing with that taped area. And then also, when you have another color, I like to snip that off so I could see my options, because if this goes all the way across, I forget what's up there. So, and then sometimes I also design my card based upon my embellishments. So today we're going to use these. the pecan pie. And so we're going to grab a big one and go down. Come on, behave. Nope, you're not going to behave. All right, that's going to go down in the corner, down there. And then we're going to grab another big one. We're going to put that right there. And then we're going to grab a small one, and we're going to put that right up there. So we are creating a triangle with that card. And whatever that is, it's going to bug me. There we go. And we are going to now use the Wink of Stella. And we are going to put Wink of Stella on our berries. And then there's a little bit much on that one. So the Wink of Stella is a glitter pen. Now I have like 5 of them because I use Wink of Stella on everything. Like Frank's hot sauce, Frank's red hot sauce. I put that blank on everything. Yeah, that's what I do with Wink of Stella. Okay, so I'm going to clear that off on a piece of scrap paper. And then we're going to go in here and do the berries with the Wink of Stella. And then also, kind of where the little bits and pieces were colored in. Now, the colors can blend because this is wet. The ink is wet, so you can transfer the colors. So try to do the same color that you're working with, and then you won't have a problem. And look at how pretty that is. Pretty simple. Okay, without me making the mistakes. Okay, so then now that is card number 1. And we are going to have one winner for this card. Now, if you win card number 1, I will take your name out for card number 2, because I want 2 separate winners. Now, I don't know what is on here. I think it might be some Wink of Stella. Clean off my fingers. This is the chamois that comes with the glass mat, and it's thinner. And I keep mine wet, and then I rinse it out the same way as I do my other one. But I don't mix, just because normally it cleans off glue from my Stampin' Seal. And then the Simply Chamois actually cleans off the ink. And so then I try not to mix them up, but it doesn't matter really. Okay, so that is card number 1. I hope you enjoyed that. Now let's get this area cleared, and we will do card number 2 for today. Now we made 5 cards, so I'm going to break this up a little bit. Today we're doing 2, and I can't remember. I think I did clean these, but, you know, my OCD. I clean everything again, just in case I might have missed a spot. The light in here is a little awkward in department. Okay, and the birdies got cleaned off. Okay, so now we are done with that. Let's make card number 2. And we are going to use the Season of Elegance. Now on here, we are going to actually use a different, or we're going to use a technique that I just learned on Tuesday. And so this is the Designer Series paper, and it is called the Season of Elegance. Here's the ribbon, and it is just a stunning ribbon, and I love this Designer Series paper. It has gold on the A side, and then the B side coordinates with it, and it looks like brush strokes on canvas. So I absolutely love this paper. Okay, then here's the Christmas card that we're going to make. But we're going to attempt to do something different with this piece right here. Now, this is a piece of cardstock, and we stamped it in Versamark and used the, let's see, where did the stuff go? There it is. This is called the tool, it's from the annual catalog, and it's the editions kit. So it comes with a big paint, a big brush, tweezers, the tray, and the embossing buddy. Now this here is the new Wow embossing powder, and this stuff rocks. And this is the metallic gold rich regular, and so this is on page 126 in the annual catalog. And we're going to use Versamark, and then the heat tool. Now my heat tool is from when Stampin' Up! Just came out. This is also the Painted Trees 3D embossing folder. It is on page 25 in the holiday mini catalog. And then we're going to be using this glimmer paper. Now this glimmer paper is not in this suite, but it's in the annual catalog. It's on page 53, and it comes in 3 different colors. This here is Granny Apple Green, this here is Garden Green, and this is Cherry Cobbler. And this is called the Festive Glimmer Paper, and it comes with 2 sheets of each. Now you can rub your finger like this, and it does not come off. And we're going to show a technique with that. Hopefully it works out. Okay, so then, oops, I got to move my dies to that previous kit. And then we're going to take out the dies that we're going to be using in this particular kit. Put that on my magnet sheet. And so I'm going to just pull this out, my mini catalog. We're going to be using Cherry Cobbler, Crushed Curry, and Garden Green. And then we are going to, now this is a mega suite. This is the Peaceful Evergreens, okay? And it goes with this one, okay? So this is a stamp set. It does not have any words with it, okay? It has a 2-pager for the dies. It is a really fun stamp set and die set. Okay, so that's this one. Then, let me put that one up here. And then here's the, we're going to be using this. And this one here is called the Peaceful Season dies. And this is the words. So you have words that go on the outside and the greetings that go on the inside. So you can choose Merry Christmas, Happy Christmas, love and joy to you. Friends and family are the 2 gifts of Christmas. Thinking of you with warm feelings and a wish for the merriest. Wishing you all the things that warm your heart and lift your spirits. Christmas is in the air. You could say, you can cross out is, and you could say love is in the air. Hoping this season is bright and beautiful. A season of wonder and happiness. Love from our home to yours. Love from my home to yours. So it's really cool that Stampin' Up! Acknowledged that people are not always necessarily together. Let's see. In your heart, cheer all year, all the best. So very wide variety in here. So these dies, we're going to be using this piece. It's kind of the bubble piece that goes with, so this piece here also cuts out Christmas. So we're going to be playing with this. And then here, there's a little slit on this side. You could put ribbon through that. You could put paper through that. Oh, and so like this one here is a little bit larger than this one, but this one kind of has like, this is straight, and this one starts off at the edge and kind of ends it down here. So up at the top down here. So really a wide variety of greetings and images. And like I said, it's a mega suite. So there is a one button, an easy button for you. Hopefully, if everything is there, then and it's available, then the easy button works. But say the embellishments are not there, then that easy button doesn't work. Okay, so we're going to take a packet out and we're going to get on with it. So we are going to get everything out and start to put this card together. All right, so I'm going to grab my silicone mat. My silicone mat is one of my favorite ways to do things. Okay, so this is, I gave everybody 4 pieces, okay? And I'm going to flip these over. The gold is the piece that we're going to see. Okay, so these are actually all flipped over and how I want them to be. So I am going to take my adhesive and I am just going to get close to one edge as I possibly can on all 4. Okay, and then I'm going to take one of these and I'm going to lay that down and I'm going to grab that glimmer paper and just to have a little tiny bit coming through, okay? Just like that. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing with the next one. Okay, fingers don't work. Or I should say fingernails don't work. That's why I love my Take Your Pick tool. All right. Try to do the same spacing as the first. And because this has adhesive on the back, that's why the silicone mat works really well, because it doesn't stick to whatever is protecting your work surface. And a little bit down. That'll be fine. That'll be fine. That'll work. And then this one, we'll take this one, we'll put that on the inside. So I'll flip that upside down for now. And then about the same amount of space of green showing. Okay, so now that we have that, we're going to put that off to the side for a second. And we're going to stamp our greeting. We're going to grab the Stampin' Pearson mat and we're going to stamp Christmas in Cherry Cobbler. And as you can tell, the color likes to change your photopolymer, but that's okay. All right, so let that ink transfer just for a few seconds and make sure that you have a nice crisp image, okay? So because this is photopolymer, I'm just going to take this and close this up, and I'm going to wash this now. Yeah, it'll stain it, but as soon as you ink it up and you're done with it, wipe it off, and you'll have less color on there. Okay, that was a fuzzy. All right, so we're going to die cut that, and we're going to put this piece through the embossing folder. All right, so this piece right here is what for? Oh, tree. Tree? Is that for the tree? Really? Or am I just messing with my head? Do. Maybe it is for my tree. Yeah, nah, die. That's it. That's what it was. I'm like, why is that so small? So we're going to take this tree and we're going to ink it up. Now you could do this 2 different ways. you can take your tree and ink it up. Don't smush, just tap, 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 and go like that, okay? So we're going to take this, and we're going to take this, and we're going to cut it out. Or you could take this piece, put it through the die, and then stamp it on top. So it really doesn't matter how you do it. And let's see here. Now, where did I put my card? There it is. So how are we going to do the inside? The inside of the card is, we're going to leave this open for just a moment. But we are going to take this and we are going to stamp our image. We're going to do the tree on the inside. And we're going to probably put that right about there. Now this is what's called distinctive, and that means that it is something that you don't want to squish, okay? You want to tap, 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 because what it does is there's a bunch of little dots in there, and so like here it's darker than it is up here, so it gives it the way that they made it that way is so that it has different color variations in one stamped image. So you don't have to sit there and try to highlight this area and highlight that area. It's less work. So just go tap, tap, tap. All right, so then now we are going to grab our greeting. Actually, let's put this, yeah, I guess we could do that. We could put, we're going to put more adhesive on here. And on top of, and we're going to line that, oops, up on the base. Just have a little bit. Now this is the basic beige. This is the new part of the basic family that Stampin' Up! Introduced when this catalog came out. And I love it. So we have basic white, well, yeah, basic black, basic white, very vanilla, basic beige, and we also have white willow, which is a 12 by 12 white that is out of the new scrapbook brochure. Stampin' Up! Took White Daisy that Close to My Heart had and changed the name to White Willow. So it's the same paper. So now everybody will have a great time scrapbooking because they have 12 by 12 by 12. All right, so then the inside of this one, it's going to say, friends and family are the true gift of Christmas. And that is going to go over here. And with photopolymer, you want to let that ink set there for a few seconds so that it transfers nicely to the paper, cardstock. And then we're going to use crushed curry. And this little star is going to go on top, right there on our tree. Okay, so then that is the inside of the card. That is ready to go. All right, so then now, what are we doing? Okay, so we're actually not going to, I am going to do this piece, but I'm also going to show you the technique on here. Let's clean up the star and the inside greeting. And I did get the tree. And I did get the Christmas. Okay, I think I got everybody cleaned up. Okay, so we're going to put everything back. I'm just trying to get everything out of my way, so once I heat emboss and get the Stampin' Cut Emboss machine, I'm not going to, have to move everything out of my way. All right, so this one, we're gonna show you how the original card was made, and we're going to use the embossing buddy. It comes from the toolkit, and now first of all, I like to use my embossing buddy on the inside of my tray. So that helps it be less staticky. Also, we're going to put that on there so that the powder doesn't stick to the cardstock where I don't want it. And then I keep this closed. And it comes with reversible tweezers, so you squeeze and then it holds it. And these are made out of ceramic, so that way when you heat, you're not going to hurt yourself, because this is not going to heat up, just this holding your piece. Now, this part here is what I use to sweep all the powder back into this, and then I dump it into my jar. But I use a little tiny brush that helps me with the embossing powder. So I'm going to actually get this out of my way, and I'm just going to grab a little piece of scrap paper, and I'm going to use the word Mary that comes from that stamp set. And we're going to put that right there. Actually, I did that wrong. It's not going to hurt it, I guess. Basically, what you want to do is not put... you want to cut yours out first and then put that on there. But that's okay. So then we'll just go like that. Flick it off, and we're going to heat that up, but we're going to show you. I'm going to use my little tiny paintbrush. It is from Stampin' Up! A really long time ago. A long time ago. All right, so I'm just cleaning this up. And then we'll show you the technique, and let's see if it works. Okay, so, oh, there's a piece of cardstock on my Versamark pad. Let's get that out of there. Okay, so we're going to put this off to the side, and we're going to keep that out of the way. Okay, so let's see. I changed my mind for a second. We're going to put the lid back on here, and we are going to heat this up. Just to show you, and then I can clear that out of the way. It won't take that long. I'm going to do it from underneath, and then you can see how that changes. I don't do it too long, because otherwise it could burn it. And there you go. So that says Mary, and then we would go and put that through the Stampin' Cut Emboss machine. But we're actually going to go grab the Stampin' Cut Emboss machine, and we'll be right back. Ta-da! Okay, I really like to die cut, so I love my Stampin' Cut Emboss machine. So we have platform number 1, platform number 2, and then cutting plate number 3. We're actually going to take this piece here, and we're going to die cut this out of there. We're going to take the tree, and we're going to die cut that. We're going to take this Christmas, and we're doing all the die cutting at the same time. And I think I got it. All right, so we'll put that on there, and we'll put the plate on. Where'd I put my plate? There it is. Okay, so this is going to cut everything out. Then we're going to change up the format, And we're going to make it so that we can use the embossing folder with the same machine. All right, so I use all my Post-it notes until they are done being sticky. And I mean, look at how nicely that cuts that out. All right, put my magnetic sheet back. Okay. So then we have that in the garden green. And we'll toss that. And here's our tree. Yeah. Sometimes you can take your die and just drop it on your glass mat and it works. Carolyn, hi. You're at the best part. I did my first card with the titmouse, and so then we have that, and I'm going to show a new technique using this piece right here. All right, so, and then we're going to poke all the little parts out. I guess that went quickly. I always clean my dies out before I put them back in, so that way when I am creating that I don't have other chunks in there. All right, so we're going to take everything out except for platform number 1. We don't need the cutting plates, but we do need the specialty plate, and that is the gray one, and it is number 4. Excuse me. Okay, so I'm going to decide which trees I want. It could be all of them if I wanted to. This one's going to get covered up, so we're going to make it so that the tree is as tall. It's tall right up there. And actually, I'm going to put it down just a little bit. I want a little bit space at the top because I'm going to have a little star for that. All right, so we're going to put that through there, and we're going to put that right on and just roll it through. You don't need anything else. Just 2 things for this particular 3D embossing folder. Okay. I mean, that is such beautiful embossed. And you can also use the debossed side if you wanted to. All right, let's put this out of our way. Right, so here is the new technique that I learned. And this is a piece of the shimmer paper. We have Mary. Now, like I said, I did not try this, so I'm going to clean this off. Just make sure that it's good to go. Because the Versamark is sticky, I like to use the Stampin' Scrub. So this one, I don't think you could see this, but here happens to have raindrops, okay, in this corner. And then over here, there happens to be a sun. So what that means is that stays wet and this is dry. So that way you put the Stampin' Mist on here. And what I like to do with my items that get Versamark on them is I rub them off and then I let it sit there. So that, especially with the photopolymer, because it gets very sticky, and then it'll attract anything that is, that's why I really like having both options when I am cleaning. Okay, we're going to attempt to emboss on glimmer paper. All right, so we're just going to let that sit for a few seconds and allow that Versamark. And believe me, you can't tell where you stamped. And you're going to flick on there. Oh my gosh, look at that. There's that. Okay, we're going to clean that off later. And then close up your lid on your Versamark pad. It stays clean that way. All right, and then we're going to clean that off in a little while. And we're going to definitely use the tweezers on that one. We'll get rid of all the stuff that doesn't belong on my... All right, so now we're gonna we're gonna heat this up. And use it's working. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. All right. Look at that, it says Mary. Okay, Sarah Douglas is the CEO of Stampin' Up, and she did this on her Tuesday video, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't wait to try it. And there we did. I think my Mary probably, or I think my Versamark needs to be a little bit more juicy. But still, you can read that. Oh my gosh, it's so fun. Okay, I'm happy now. I'm going to clean this up in just a moment after the video. I'm going to put my lid back on, and I'll use that big brush, and I'll sweep that through the hole, and then put that in my container. That is the technique that I learned to add to this card. Okay, so then now we are going to go back and finish the rest of the card. I'm going to add more adhesive because I only added adhesive to the Designer Series paper and not this piece right here. So now there's a little adhesive on there. Okay, so I'm going to start with my corner, and however you want to do this. And I'm just going to let that sit. All right. And then I'm going to move this out of my way. Just get this stuff. Put more adhesive on here. See, I have no fingernails. All right. And then we're going to put that. I'm going to flip that upside down. Evenly space between the two. All right. And the last one. And you can make this go however you want. And then you're going to take this and flip this up over. And snip. Actually, I don't want to use my paper snips. I have adhesive. These are my adhesive scissors. See, they're still sticky. All right, so just chop that off. And this is a great way to use scraps. Now, actually, these weren't scraps. My original card were scraps, but I cut these specifically for the event. So these pieces weren't scraps, but this is to show you that it's a great way to use them up. And it's a great way to use your designer series paper, the glimmer paper. Okay, so then now, because this is really, well then, for some strange reason, my Stamp and Seal is being very, it's tearing my paper apart. Well then, it's working, and I'm not even putting any, and I'm got paper stuck to my fingers. I did not say paper fingers, I said inky fingers. All right, gosh darn it. All right. I'm glad you got to come, Carolyn. It was good to see you. And my friends got to see my new place. All right. And so there is that. And so we are going to attach the Mary with dimensionals. We're going to use little ones. All right. So we're going to put one on the tag of each side, because these are small enough that you can put through smaller pieces. Come on, let's go. And then stab and grab those backings. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And in the trash you go. And we're going to put that right there. And then we're going to put these, we're going to put regular dimensionals on those. Okay. You didn't stay up too late Saturday working on your Carolyn, did you? Okay. And I just might cut a tiny piece off my mini dimensional side, and we're going to put that right where the C is. Okay, stab and grab those backings. Oops, missed one. There we go. All in the trash. Okay, put that away. And this is going to go like that. All right, so then now the gems that we are using, they are called the adhesive backed metallic gems. Yes, thank you. My craft room is my bedroom. So it used to be in the basement, and my bed just happened to be in the basement. Now my craft room is where I hang out, and that's my bedroom. All right, and we're going to take that third one and put it on the tree, the tippy top of the tree. Now we're not done yet. We're going to add a little bit of Winkostella, because we got to add a little sparkle to everything. So we're going to now try to stay within the lines, because this will bleed. So I'm kind of doing just the chunkier parts of the words. And the I. And this also kind of helps with if you have any stamping imperfections. This helps kind of cover that up. All right, so there's a little bit of shimmer on that. And we're going to wipe that off. And did I do anything on the tree? Oh, you know what? We forgot. We forgot to do the part of the tree. So as I showed you in the before, so we're going to take this one. And this is kind of like the skeleton that kind of hangs over the tree. That gives it dimension. And so what I did is took the tree, and I actually like doing it this way better than stamping the tree individually, because there you are. Oh, you can't see that. You can actually see there's color on. Sherry, hi. Welcome. You're going to have to go back and watch the replay on this. Let's see. Maybe you ought to change your bridge to... Just kidding. I don't mind you're late. Okay. It's not like... I mean, you're going to go back and watch the replay anyways. So, the two cards that I am demonstrating are from my stamp camp that I had this last weekend. All right, so I'm going to use just a little bit of glue to, and so this is tone on tone. So I did, see, this is the front, you know, when I stamped it first, you know, and then cut it out. This way, when I stamped it after, I'm not picky as to where it hit. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, I think you could see the color better there. Let's see here. I'm going to take that and flip that upside down, and we're going to put that on the tree so that it gives it dimension. Okay, and then take the Wink of Stella and go and hit the star. And then I'm actually going to just tap, 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 because I don't want it to blend my color in. Okay. So there we go. All right. So let's show you the original card of what it's supposed to look like. And so this is Garden Green cardstock, and we used the gold, and I showed the new technique of stamping on your glimmer paper. And so this is card number 2. So you're going to win that one. And card number 1, hi Benji, is right here. That's card number 1. So card number 1, card number 2. And so this was from my stamp camp this past weekend, and everybody got to make 5 cards. And just wanted to say thank you very much for hanging out with me. Thank you. Crap. All right. So to get your name entered into the drawing to win one of these cards, like I said, if you win card number 1, I will take your name out of the drawing, just because I want to have 2 winners. So do a thumbs up or a heart for this video. That gets your name entered into the drawing. If you leave a comment, if you're new to my channel, just say from Tennessee. You can also say hi. That's the smallest thing that you have to type in. share this on your timeline. Maybe a paper crafter who is on your timeline hasn't touched their stuff in a while, and maybe seeing my videos might inspire them to pick up their stamps again, make cards, and then send happy mail. So thank you very much for hanging out with me on a Thursday evening, and I hope you have a great weekend. See you on Sunday after 5 o'clock, and happy stamping.